Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Sue Loucks, and this is a podcast or a vodcast for Northern Beaches Toastmasters. We are 20 years old this year, November 2023. I have been a Toastmaster for just over a decade. I've belonged to numerous clubs, 2, 3, and sometimes even 4 at a time. I have reached the dizzying heights of a DTM, which actually stands for Distinguished Toastmaster, but often we say, don't time me, because we all like to talk. I've been a member of Northern Beaches Toastmasters since 2012, and I'm really excited to be part of their 20th anniversary celebration in 2023. To celebrate this momentous occasion, I thought it'd be great to have some members, older members, newer members, younger members, all give a chat about what it means to be a Toastmaster with Northern Beaches Toastmasters. Today, I am joined by Jacobina. Now, Jacobina is one of our newer members. She's probably also one of our younger members. And she is juggling life full tilt, working full-time, studying full-time, law and politics, so no mean chop study, and taking on Toastmasters as one of her hobbies. And I want to know why she has chosen to pile onto her plate this extra task. So welcome, Jacobina. Thank you for joining me tonight as we chat about Northern Beaches Toastmasters and you in particular.
Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. So first up, I have to ask, what brought you to Toastmasters?
I had a need and a want to perfect my public speaking skills. I didn't only want to be someone who doesn't have qualms public speaking. I'm quite outgoing, so that side was never an issue, but rather I wanted to get to a point where I had good articulation skills and engaging mannerisms that allowed whatever point or topic I was discussing to be delivered in the best possible manner. And it was actually a close friend who suggested for me to join Toastmasters. And prior to her discussing Toastmasters with me, I'd actually never heard of the organisation. So I still have her to thank for this.
And is she a Toastmaster?
No, she's not. She just recommends it to people.
You'll have to bring her along one day as a guest.
I will. I'm sure she'd be keen.
So I assume, given your choice of what you're studying at uni, law and politics, that presenting, persuading, and engaging would all be skills that you need in your future career.
Yeah, whether it's on a daily occurrence or a regular occurrence, it's going to be in whatever career I choose. So I knew I had to be good at it. I've interned for a law firm and I've seen the difference of lawyers presenting in a court that have poor articulation and poor public speaking skills to a lawyer that actually has really good articulation skills and good public speaking skills. And the difference is in the respect that you get from the magistrate and the judge, because if you can't articulate your point within 4 minutes and it takes you 10 minutes, you're wasting the judge's time. So I think it's quite important for me to get it right, to be able to excel in the career I want to do.
It's interesting that you mentioned the word time and specifically that 4-minute window. I know that many guests, when they come to Toastmasters, are quite surprised on how we time everything because we see that as important. So clearly, you're saying that's important out there in the real world as well.
Yeah, I think you want to keep your audience engaged. Like if you can't bring your point across in a short amount of time, then you have an issue understanding your topic. I don't think you need 1,000 words to explain your point of view or the topic. You could actually explain it in half as many words, which is what all of our lecturers and tutors say. They say write or speak what you need to say and then cut everything in half because we don't want you to wobble on.
Okay. So in Toastmasters, we often refer to understanding your audience, that it's important to take your topic, whatever your topic is, and bring that to the level and interest of your current audience. Would that apply to your work environment?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Even outside of like my law and politics, I'd use it in my everyday work, which is in the hospital, just having regular conversations just to communicate, whether it's with my inline manager or my above manager, just to get whether there's an issue that arises or a miscommunication between a patient and a booking, like Toastmasters comes in handy because you learn how to articulate yourself, and then in daily conversations it just filters through.
Fantastic. So what I'm hearing there from you is that already you have discovered that Toastmasters has helped you in your everyday life. Are there other ways that Toastmasters has benefited you on a daily basis?
Yes, I think one of the things I don't think is spoken about, or I haven't found is spoken about in Toastmasters, is the speech writing that you do within Toastmasters. I think that side is more important than your actual public speaking, because when you can write a good speech and you know your topic, you'll be able to speak it well. So I find focusing on how to write my speeches and like really understanding the different ways to write speeches is the key and most important part of Toastmasters. And I think that's maybe a good way to sell Toastmasters to new members and say, this is a skill that will get you and help you in any part of your life. Like, it's not just a public speaking skill. It can help you write emails. It can help you in meetings, in reporting. Like, I think that's a very important skill.
So where every word matters and counts.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I know that the cost of living is a topic that we all discuss right now in 2023. And it's something that particularly I feel the younger generation is truly struggling with, because they've not got themselves established like our older generation have. Do you think that Toastmaster membership is still good value in our current economic environment?
I think in general, yes. I think if you look at the yearly membership, yes. I personally believe it's quite reasonable. I do think with our particular Toastmasters club, there is that extra monthly cost for dinner, but I like that side of it, so I don't have any qualms about it. But it is a deterrence, and I can see it being a deterrence for students like myself who don't have a high income, or anyone that's of a low or middle income earning, because $40, if you're trying to feed a family, is a lot of money. So
Yeah.
like a way about that to try and entice more people to come maybe into our club would maybe to be offer shared dinners where everyone brings a plate to someone's house and we just have a Toastmasters in someone's house. That obviously means someone opening up their home, but that can be an affordable way to bring people into the club. It also opens up different conversations and it becomes a more personal club, and people come for the human connection. So then the yearly cost and maybe the monthly fee that they pay is nothing. Like, the monetary value is nothing, because what they get out of the club is so much more.
So just to enlighten everybody here in this situation, Northern Beaches Toastmasters is unusual. We are one of only 2 Toastmaster clubs in the District 90 that are dinner clubs. So we meet in a restaurant once a month and have a dinner together and hold a full dinner meeting. So with all of our speeches, toasts, and everything else that goes into a standard Toastmaster meeting. And the cost of that is $45 a head each meeting to cover the cost of the dinner. And of course, there's a little bit extra for BYO if you wish to BYO, and the restaurant charges a fee for that. So that is an unusual environment for Toastmasters. Most Toastmaster clubs meet in a hall, at an RSL club, at a church or a school, and the meeting room might be free or with minimal cost, $2 to $5 per meeting. Whereas here at Northern Beaches Toastmasters, we meet at a restaurant and there is a $45 a month fee to cover the restaurant cost. And I hear what Jacobina has to say, that there is that cost involved. And it does make it more difficult. What about the age groups, Jacobina? I know that many people think that Toastmasters is just for retired people or the golden oldies. What do you say about that? Because you definitely don't fit into that group.
I like to say I'm an old soul, but in general, I think you can't deny the obvious fact the majority of the club members are of a mature age. And I don't think it's an issue. I don't mind having a conversation with someone that's older than me. I've never minded it, but some young people struggle with that. And it's probably the age gap and the different levels of life experience that the young people struggle with. But I don't think that's what stops people from coming into Toastmasters. I would actually say pulling young people into Toastmasters, what's stopping you is that the club is perceived as dorky. So no young person really wants to be perceived as dorky, if the potential of being perceived as cool is available. So you're not going to get as many young people naturally. Like you can try and you will get some, but you're not going to get the young people that maybe you hope to get for that very reason, unfortunately. They'll come later in life when they're in their golden oldies age.
So we'll have to find out a way to encourage the younger folk who probably are in a position to benefit more from the skills that we have to teach than us golden oldies.
Yeah, and I have chatted to my friends about joining, and either they say public speaking isn't in our daily life, and if it is, they avoid it at all costs, so they don't want to join. Or some of them is the cost, it's too expensive to pay $45 a month, and other ones, they just don't see a need to excel in the public speaking side, which is where I think the speech writing and the other side of Toastmasters is important to tell people about, because I think that comes in handy in all parts of life.
Well, that's a great tip. I appreciate that. And I'd like to take this moment to welcome to our podcast, Alejandra. Welcome, Alejandra.
Thank you. Hello, Sue. Hello, Jacobina. Apologies for being late.
Apology accepted, and it's great to have you join us. So Alejandra is another one of our newer members. I think you've been a member for about 8 months. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And Alejandra, what brought you to Toastmasters?
For me, the main reason to join Toastmasters was to improve in my public speaking, because as a non-native English speaker, it was hard for me to overcome the barrier of public speaking and communication. I wanted to excel in my role and start giving presentation and start doing business development. And I thought Toastmaster was that tool to help me gaining more confidence. And also, as Jacobina said, that having older members they've been in Toastmasters for so many years, it can get a huge benefit because it's experience and you can learn so much from all of them. So that's what it brought me at the first stage in Toastmasters. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Alejandra, what do you do for work?
My role is called GIS developer. I work in an engineering consultancy. It's a very technical role. So my main issue is to communicate technical concepts for everybody.
Okay. Now, ladies, one question I get asked by a lot of new members is, how do I know what to talk about? I've got to do all these speeches. How do I know what to talk about? Alejandra, how do you work out what to make your next speech on?
I got advice from my mentor, from Reg, and he was saying that you have to talk something that makes you feel comfortable. So my way to do it is, for example, if I read a book, I would write some insights, or if I have to share, I always try to do storytelling. I found that it works really well and people engage with your story. So yeah, I think that's my way to find a topic.
And Jacobina, do you have a tip on that?
Yeah, I'm pretty similar to what Alejandra is saying. I personally keep a list on my phone of topics that interest me. And I agree where I love incorporating personal stories into my speeches. I also think it's very important because it shows a personal side to you and it highlights to people why you're talking about this topic, why you're interested in it, why it's your point of view. And it engages the audience more, and it can cause them to actually think about the topic that they may never have actually thought about themselves personally.
Okay. So the takeaway message that I took there is from both of you ladies, thank you, is that you're talking about something that's personal to yourself, that you can make a story out of, because everyone loves a good story, and you keep a record of little ideas that pop into your brain every now and then about story topics that might be relatable. And from that, you can build a story. Yep.
Yeah, perfectly
Yeah,
summed
correct.
up.
Fantastic. Now, you are both busy ladies. Jacobina is studying and working. Alejandra is working full-time and managing a family. How do you balance doing all of that with Toastmasters? Alejandra?
I think for me, Toastmasters is that safe space where I can have a nice dinner, where I catch up with nice people, where I also learn a lot of what I have on my goals. So I don't take it like something else to do, like maybe that burden or, like my list. For me, is my space of have my own time and share with friends and great people.
Nice way of looking at it. Jacobina, for you?
Yeah, I tend to find it quite a relaxing environment. It's at once a month dinner, which is perfect for my schedule. And it's a time to just get away, enjoy the food and the company of others, but then also learn new things that are completely separate to what I'm studying and working in. So it's sort of like a brain numbing task for me, but it's not, but that's how I look at it. So it's quite a relaxing switching off time when I go to Toastmasters once a month.
Fantastic. And Alejandra, how long have you been in Australia now?
4 years. Yeah.
Okay. You have wonderful English, by the way.
Thank you.
So have you achieved what you set out to achieve through Toastmasters, or do you see that there's more and more and more for you?
I would say that there is way more to learn and to keep practicing. Every time that I go, I just found like the feedback. It's a very constructive feedback, and sometimes you don't realize that you have to work on those skills. So I think it's long-term goal to keep doing it and keep improving. And as much as you expose yourself to public speaking, as much as you learned and improved.
Fantastic. Ladies, I'm really thankful for you joining me tonight as we talk about Northern Beaches Toastmasters, your journey with us. And next month at our October meeting, we are celebrating our 20th anniversary, and Northern Beaches Toastmasters is very proud to have you young ladies as members at our club. And I hope that we do help you to gain the insights, the skills in public speaking, speech writing, and leadership, along with the friendship, good meals, and good fun that our club has to offer. Thank you very much for joining me this evening.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Sue. Thanks, Jacobina.
Thanks.